Blues, welcome to another episode of Once a Blue, where we discuss 2 to 3 players every week about their time at City, what they achieved, what they did, and basically just get our thoughts and opinions. This week, I'm joined by other Dan Halifax. How you doing, mate?
Hello. I'm
really
all right,
rocking the Budweiser.
Yeah.
Definitely needed.
It's choosing eating it.
You do right, mate. You do right. And yeah, Dan's joining me this evening as we go through 3 players, which we start off with Negredo, also nicknamed as the Beast. Then we go on to probably a City legend in Dedryck Boyata. And then we finish off on an extreme high of Elano, the Brazilian. So we'll start off with Negredo. Like I say, nicknamed the Beast. We all know the chanting when he was on the pitch. We signed him for 16.4 million plus add-ons on July the 19th, 2013 against Sevilla. He made a total of 49 appearances and 23 goals, which, you know, not a bad record for a first-time striker in the Premier League.
No.
Made his debut on the 19th of August 2013 in a 4-0 win against Newcastle. No doubt you were there.
Yeah, I was blooded, but I was
there. That's like every other game you go to, isn't it?
Yeah.
And he scored his first goal on the 25th of August, which was a header in a 3-2 defeat against Cardiff. If you remember that one.
Yeah, I do, and Dzeko scored a worldie that game as well.
Yeah.
But we're not on about Dzeko now.
No, we're on about the Beast. But kind of hoping we would be on the right side of the 3-2. But that was the shock of that season. But we did go on to win the title. So
yeah.
But what are your favourite memories of him?
He's got two goals that stick out in my mind. He's and you know what? It's actually quite relevant. Everybody on Facebook goes on about Vidic. I didn't see Vidic when Negredo were dragging him all over the pitch, fucking banging header in against him. Only wanted header, wasn't it? He pulled him around and then blasted into bottom corner. And the other one of my all-time favourite goals is that outside of boot against Liverpool that just took Mignolet just completely by surprise. I'd actually swap seats that game, and I was like sort of right behind that. It was a fucking great finish.
That was the goal that I always remember him for. You know, it's just it was just a calamitous thing from Mignolet that game, but hell of a finish. But the United goal, definitely had Vidic running round in rings early, didn't he?
Yeah, I mean, what surprised me when you said that, he played 43 games and scored 23 goals. He didn't score after January, did he? After December?
Yeah. It's mid-January was the last time he scored a goal before finishing off the season and then going out on loan to Valencia before his permanent move there.
So 23 goals in first half of the season. Decent,
that's not bad. Probably half the appearances. So you're looking at probably about 30 appearances, 23 goals and about 30 appearances, would you say?
Yeah. It's good old return, that.
But at the same time, how do you drop that bad?
Well, allegedly sleeping with another player's wife.
Well, I was kind of hoping we might skim past that. It might just be the form, but yeah. We won't get into that one, definitely not.
Yeah, them views are my own, not the MID's.
He went on to score a couple of hat-tricks for us for those 23 goals. His first one was a 5-2 win against CSKA Moscow. If you remember that one, because that was the game that got us through into the last 16.
I can't remember, if I'm honest, but am I right in thinking we lost the first leg?
Yeah.
I do remember, but I can't remember that hat-trick. I'm afraid.
We weren't at that game by any chance.
No.
Well,
I might have been, Dad. I might have been.
Oh God, some of the stories. But yeah, it's a weird one because we always remember Negredo. He's always a striker of the past decade that, you know, he didn't do a lot after the first part of the season, but we always seem to remember him. He's had a bit of a cult hero / cult figure. You know,
but it were name a better striker. Well, Tevez arguably, but name a better striker that's worked that well with Aguero. Because like people saying, "Oh, Aguero and Jesus can't play together." Well, Negredo and Aguero played together all the time, didn't they? And it was just like they just gelled straight away. And it's like when he scored, everybody going beast and all that. That makes you a cult following.
Yeah.
And I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure we made profit on him when we sold him as well. So that's another bonus.
Well, I actually haven't got that written down, but we signed him for 16.4 million from Sevilla.
I think we sold him for 28.
Yeah, it's high 20s. Yeah, I don't know the exact figure. Yeah, but yeah, we made a hell of a profit on him considering he had a shocking second half of the season. But
yeah, did you hear that, Chris and Dan? I mean, Chris and Dave. Fucking put that in your pipe.
If anyone's wondering, Dan has been pretty much on a lone ranging, argumentative fight against City Dave and Admin Chris. Basically, I have to agree with Chris and Dave though to a degree. But we won't get into that. That's a whole other podcast. I think that's another episode of Unpopular Opinions. But yeah, there's an underlying argument there, Blues. Watch this space.
Yeah.
But he's got a fair bit under his belt in terms of honours. You know, saying he played for a host of different clubs. He won the Copa del Rey with Sevilla back in 2009. He got the Premier League trophy with us and a League Cup with us. And he also has, which I didn't know because I didn't realise he was part of the team that won it, a 2012 European Championship with Spain.
Oh, I didn't realise that either.
No. Because obviously we knew Spain won it, but I didn't realise he was part of the squad.
No, I didn't think he got in because it was like Negredo and Soldado. Remember him from Tottenham?
Yeah.
And he was shit.
We got the best of the bunch. See, before we signed Negredo, I always remember his Soldado and Negredo being those two that were for Valencia Soldado, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was always Sevilla and Valencia that had those two that were knocking in the goals for him. They were the only two players that were keeping him up. But yeah, I remember there was a report that we were eyeing up Soldado more than Negredo originally.
Yeah.
Thank God we didn't go for him because, like you say, he was shocking, especially for Spurs.
Yeah, he scored. Negredo, did he score an hat-trick against Spurs as well? He scored a brace against them at home.
I think, he scored another hat-trick against... it was in the league. I think it was West Ham, though.
Oh, yeah, he used to love a goal against West Ham. And I'd say that was his last goal in the League Cup. Am I right in saying that? His last goal in January against West Ham.
Yeah.
But, we've had a bit of criticism on page about saying, a City great, a City legend, and because they didn't play X amount of games or they didn't do something. But in my eyes, Negredo is a bit of a legend to me because one, he's been in my generation. Two, he was fucking banging goals in. He had his own song. I've even got a T-shirt that says "Unleash the Beast," number 9. I was going to bang that on. I don't know where it is.
Oh yeah. Oh, no, should have known.
That's what I'm saying though. In my eyes, he is a bit of a City legend. But what would you make of that, Dan? Do you think he did enough to be counted as a City legend, or is he more of a cult hero?
For me, definitely a cult hero. I wouldn't go as far as saying legend. I think in terms of the way I see Negredo, it was the different dynamic he brought to the team. You know, we had Aguero, where he was our leading goal scorer. You know, no one was going to replace him. We didn't have anybody really making a standout, you know, off the pitch type thing. And you know, to have something like he's only been at the club for half a season before we had nicknamed the Beast, and every time he picked up the ball, it just sounded like it was a load of booze at the time. Yeah. And it's sort of like that tradition. So no, definitely a cult hero for me because he brought something different. in terms of the whole dynamic of when he was on the pitch. But I think we'd be pushing it to say legend.
Maybe you're right. I did enjoy watching Negredo, and like you say, everything about him.
He had a trait, didn't he? It was very rare that he'd have a not necessarily a poor game, but not necessarily a good one, but he'd always be up for something.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it's true, but he also had apparently a bad shoulder injury, because he didn't do a lot after leaving us, did he? He went back to Middlesbrough, didn't he? And so you don't know if he did actually fucking send up.
But to be fair, he's not been the same since. So there might be some truth in that. That's
what I'm saying. Yeah.
Right. Well, that's Negredo. Not a bad one to start off with, I say.
No.
Now we are going on to a City legend. Forget cult hero. This lad, Dedryck Boyata. What can we say from him? Basically, he started off in our youth. We signed him from Brussels, I think it was, academy in Brussels, and he was part of the 2008 FA Youth Cup winning team. He played a total of 34 appearances for the first team, scoring 1 goal. Made his debut against Middlesbrough in an FA Cup 1-0 win. And his only goal, his only goal came against, and I can't remember this club, I can't remember playing them, I can't remember anything about them in the Europa League, against FC Timisoara.
Oh, I know him, and fun fact, we signed Pantamillion from him.
Did we really?
Yeah, after that game. We signed him straight after that game. There you go, he was playing purple. They don't even exist anymore.
They don't even, that's probably why I don't remember him then, to be fair.
Yeah, they're folded.
I don't know why I thought we got Pantamillion from a Ukrainian league.
No, we signed him straight after that game, swear down.
Oh, well, you learn something new every day. I'll guarantee there's a fair more Blues out there that never heard of him. Hell of it. Yeah, that was a 2-0 win, which he contributed in the Europa League. His time at City was a bit weird one, really, wouldn't you say? He was touted. I mean, we get this a lot. He was touted as the next big youth product from City. He had everything about him growing up, and then he did sort of make comeuppances in the first team. He had some very good games. I remember one where he played against Chelsea in his first full season. And I think he played wing back or something like that, and he had a fantastic game, and I think we won that game 1-0. But from there, we never really settled.
See, I think you might be right that he came on against Middlesbrough in the Cup, but I think his first start was against Man United in the League Cup. If you remember that, a midweek game, he started in the League Cup game against Man United. When
that was after.
No, I'm sure that was his first start. I mean, I ain't fact checked it because I don't do research. I just wing it. But
you never know. You might be right.
Yeah,
I said Sean Wright Phillips only played 140 odd games last week, and Dave corrected me. It's 200 odd. So.
Yeah, but I do think he played well in that game. That was a League Cup semi-final over 2 legs, and they beat us. I think we beat them 2-1 at home, didn't we? And then they beat us 3-1 at their place. So I can't remember the exact score, but he played well in that game. He just looked a bag of nerves. Yeah. But he were like 17s. I actually met him round about that time, maybe a bit after that. And he were only dead. He was tall, but he was right. He just looked like a little kid. Do you know what I mean? But he had his own song, didn't he? Everybody used to go, shit!
Yeah, quite a memorable one as well. Easy one for everyone to join in. But no, for me, he was another one that never made it to the heights he should have. Yeah, I think we could all agree with that. He did have something about him. He wasn't going to be world class. We weren't looking at the next Vinny. We weren't looking at the next PK. We weren't looking at anything like that. But he definitely had an air of potential about him that I don't think he ever really lived up to. What do you reckon?
Well, I'm not being funny, right? He's played I bet if you looked at his stats now, he's playing Germany at the minute, isn't he? I can't remember who he's signed for. But he's won everything in Scotland. He's played no end of Champions League games. Played no end of games for Belgium. So he has ground out a decent career, but he just never looked the business to me. I mean, I remember him getting sent off for bringing Shamak down in the first 5 minutes against Arsenal, and they absolutely battered us.
3-0.
Yeah, I was there. It was fucking horrible.
No, that was my next note. He had a host of suspensions, and he knew how to get a yellow card every other game.
Yeah.
I think that was what sort of failed him in my eyes. He wasn't really very good at decision making. He always seemed a bit, like you said, a bit almost rattled.
Yeah, it's very similar to Stefan Savic when he come to us. Very similar, just like bag of nerves and like I'm like an headless chicken. Oh, I've got to do something here, and like taking Shamak down at last man, and he were. I mean, you probably don't remember, but Shamak was like cutting him from the right wing, proper far out, and he just took him out from behind. It was like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
And it just fucking killed game off.
Yeah, well, it's. I think that sort of summed him up, though. We have the snippets, don't we? I mean, we've had that fair share of hype versus bad luck when it comes to defenders. Look at Mangala. That game against Chelsea, we thought Mangala was going to be fantastic.
Yeah.
And, he never settled. And funnily enough, Boyata's best game, I think, was against Chelsea.
Yeah.
And for me, he had loan moves during his time to Bolton and FC20. He never really, he never fought back his place after going on loan. And ultimately, we sold him to Celtic for 1.5 million.
Yeah, but I mean, to me, what a career move for him.
Yeah, oh God, yeah.
Because now a German team's risked it on him. I don't care any jocks listening. Germany's a step up from Scotland, so he's got himself a decent career, and he's probably going to be a bit of a Celtic legend, even though he was shit.
Well, you'd have to say it was probably up until obviously when last year he sort of held Celtic to ransom, really, didn't he? He didn't want to play because he wanted to move away, and it was arguably one of Celtic's best players.
Yeah, so, I mean, they pulled that banner out, didn't they, saying Boyata, nobody's bigger than the club, and then he fucking scored in a 1-0 win for him.
I remember that again. Yeah, that was like just rubbing salt into the wounds almost. But for me, no, I completely agree. Getting that move to Celtic was probably the best thing he ever did. And obviously, we're not going to get into the argument again about the youth. But would you say 1.5 million for him was respectable?
It's one of them, though.
Still young at the time.
Yeah, but it's a lot of other things come into it that you might not know. So they probably sold it. We might have sold it for 1.5 million with a 25% or 30% sell-on fee if they sold him. So it is a money game. So if Boyata had done decent and then a Premier League club had paid Celtic 8 million for him and we'd have got fucking X amount. So it swings and roundabouts, isn't it? So
yeah, I suppose that's the one best thing we can say about City's transfer policy. We do make money from past sales, it's probably the best thing. But I still think 1.5 million is respectful enough to the point of what he'd never really achieved anything at City, and his record was, in terms of discipline, diabolical.
But on flip side, Dan, with it, it's 1.5 million, or it's he goes for free at end of the season. It's one of them, innit?
True, yeah.
Like, he's got 2 years left. Well, he's not getting in here our first team. He's just taking a place up in dressing room. Do you know what I mean?
And like you said, we wouldn't have been able to, if he'd left on a free, he wouldn't be able to get on that sell-on clause.
Well,
I suppose it's a win-win. But for saying, I'm speaking as if he's like the worst thing since sliced bread.
No, he wasn't. And when I met him, he was a proper nice guy. And he was actually with Sean Wright Phillips. And believe it or not, I mean, I took my mate, who was a Chef Wednesday fan, game, and I can't remember who we were playing against. And I've got a few beers, and I'm chatting away and all that. My mate went, Sean Wright Phillips and Dedryck Boyata just walked past up, went, shut up, no, they aren't. He went, I'm fucking telling you. Ran after him. Sean Wright Phillips and Dedryck Boyata walked straight through all City fans in concourse, and not one person noticed them other than a Chef Wednesday fan. I swear down.
What does that say about Sean Wright Phillips then?
I'm telling you. Sean Wright Phillips had a big daft, like, woolly hat thing on, only dead small, and Boyata right tall and skinny behind him.
Dear me, I think we all need to carry a Sheffield Wednesday fan around with us from now on.
Mate, that is absolutely gospel, that.
But to end Boyata's talk about Boyata, his honours include FA Cup win with City, which he never played in the final. He was on the bench, but he played a few games up to that. He got a total of 4 Scottish Premierships. Whether you say, obviously a shit league, which it is, 4 Scottish Premierships, albeit Celtic the only one, 2 Scottish Cups, 2 Scottish League Cups, and he got a third place with Belgium in the World Cup, which he played a huge part in, to be fair, and he played well in it.
Yeah, but that's it. Like, I mean, we're slagging all bloody Celtic shit league and all that, or he goes to, like, let's just say Norwich, and he gets fucking relegation on his CV or Championship. Winning Scottish Premier League is probably better than, I don't know. I'm going to say better than winning Championship, but is it? I don't know.
No. Championships is a lot better to win the Championship in my eyes. A lot better. It's a tougher league as the Championship compared to the Premiership. Scottish Premiership in my eyes. Plus he was playing for Celtic. Unless if Rangers are in the league, Celtic are pretty much always guaranteed it out there.
Yeah.
So I think he was in. I think that move was sort of a double play, i.e., good for him, but also lucky for him at the same time.
Yeah.
But moving on from Boyata then, ending on a very big high, which you and me and everyone else in our private chats have discussed. Maybe he is probably the only pre-money close to world-class player we had, which is Elano. Brazilian, probably most memorable name from the late noughties, I'd say. You think of a midfield maestro before the money, i.e. David Silva, etc. He's probably number one. He signed on the 2nd of August in 2007 for 8 million from Shakhtar.
I mean, that's nothing, isn't it?
No, nothing at all for what we got for him as well. He played 84 games for us, scoring only 18 goals.
And I'll tell you now, one of them, he was top goal scorer of our team on 9. So he scored half of them in one season.
Exactly. He's got some belters as well.
Yeah.
His debut was the opening day against West Ham, which he provided a cross and assisted one of the goals. And which for me was very rare back there. A foreign Brazilian lad was there. He loved life in Manchester, quoted, is very beautiful and the weather suited him.
Yeah, well, he had been playing in Ukraine for 8 years or something.
That was the bit he added on, but I was hoping to miss that out, just saying, Brazilian enjoying Manchester weather, He took over the number 11 shirt, which was previously worn by Darius Vassell, who swapped it for number 12. And his first goal, now you need to decide here, because he scored 3 goals in a space of 2 games. His first goal came on the 29th of September that year, with a 3-1 win over Newcastle, which is one of his most memorable goals, which is a free kick. And then 8 days later, scored 2 more in a 3-1 win against Middlesbrough, from which one of them was a free kick and another one was just outside the box. Do you remember them? Would you say Newcastle was his best goal?
Newcastle. I mean, I see people on Facebook sharing that goal that aren't even Man City fans. Do you know what I mean? Just like, what a goal that was. Elano were one of them players that, like, the streets will never forget. Do you get what I mean? He was like, he was sort of a bit of cut. I mean, I always said this, like, Elano, we could sign that Elano now, and he'd fit in our team. There's not many players I could think, oh, yeah, if we'd signed him again, he'd be bang on for our team. Like Tevez and that, yeah, but that Elano he had everything. And he could play everywhere. He played right back a couple of games, didn't he?
Yeah, left. I think left back actually.
Oh, really? Back. No,
either way, he played defensive, for a few games, and Mark Hughes preferred him on the left, didn't he? It was that crosshair between Garrido and Robinho, wasn't he? Which it worked for him, but obviously with the likes of Sean Wright Phillips and Robinho coming in, his places under Mark Hughes was a bit mismatch. He never really got as many.
He played in that Hamburg game. He didn't start. He come on against Hamburg, and he hit fucking 2 pearlers of free kicks, and they both hit the bar. Hit the bar or crossbar and came out. Both for him. He was like a man possessed that night, whipping balls in. If fucking Caicedo could learn to stay onside, we'd have fucking buried them that night. Elano played.
Yeah, right. I feel I couldn't put that better myself. But, he was somewhat of an expert at something, if you remember. He had 100% record with something. See if you work out
penalties.
Penalties. He's the only player, I think, in the past 20. What did I say? It was 22 years, 23 years, or something like that in his City career. The only player for that time period that's got a 100% penalty record and taken more than 5.
That's decent.
Yeah.
What did he take? Did he take 9 or something? And that season we got 9.
Pretty much, yeah. But he was definitely a set piece expert, wasn't he? I think that's best way to describe who he was. I mean, he had a hell of a lot of flair to his game. He could dribble the ball. He had everything really for an attacking midfielder, didn't he?
He was special. Like you're saying, he was special. And it was something that we hadn't seen at City for ages. Just the daftness of him, like he picked the ball up, his head was looking round, and he was creating something all the time when we first signed him. And it was something we'd definitely been lacking.
Yeah. I mean, he was that prior step up, wasn't he? It's a shame because he did eventually leave for Galatasaray, which, he was still young at the time. He had a hell of a lot more years than him. I mean, money coming in, yes, and we're signing players such as David Silva. But I completely agree with you. If we still had him now, say we had him his age when we signed him now,
if you fit straight in,
he'd fit straight. I mean, I put a post about half a year ago on our page now, and I got hounded for saying no chance. He's genuinely, bar Tevez, prior to that title-winning team, he's the only player that would easily get him. He may not start every game, he may play most games off the bench, but he could still do it. And Guardiola would transform him into an even better player.
I mean, I'm pretty sure Elano played well into his 40s. I mean, I think he's coaching or something at Santos now, isn't he?
As far as I'm aware, he's still playing.
Fucking hell, he must be 50 then. He played centre-back for Santos.
Yes, he did, yeah. So it highlights how versatile he was in different places. But like you say, he bring back for us. But no, I think he's only about 38.
No way.
No, I'm sure he's only about 38. He was not that old. Oh. As you think about it, he was what, 20, 26, 27 when he finished midway through his City career, something like that. Roughly that. So what's that? That's an extra 13 years. Yeah, it's about 38, I think.
Oh yeah. How much are we selling for, Dan?
Oh, God knows. I've just got left for Galatasaray.
All right. I wonder about that because the thing is, we got to a stage behind the scenes where we needed to go. He had that little Robinho, Bertie, Elano thing going on. And to be fair, he was fucking shit at the start of that. when like when Bellamy and that had come in.
Yeah.
He wasn't the same player. He looked out of place. He looked lazy. But I think that Brazilian trio were just like doing their own thing and sort of upsetting the dressing room. Craig Bellamy talks about it in his book.
Yeah.
They all fell out. So maybe it were right to move him on, even though, like we say, brilliant player. He just wasn't mentally there for us.
Yeah. Did he? I know he never. We signed him in his mid-20s and everything, and he wasn't a youth product or anything like that. Did he live up to the hype, or did he never have any hype and he made his own name for himself? Would you say?
Well,
because 8 million at the time, I know we say that's nothing nowadays, but 8 million back in 2007, it's a hell of a lot of money.
I don't know. You see, Dan, I always remember we spent 40 million that season on like 8 players. And Man United spent 45 million on 2. So it was in grand scheme of things, but he was like the first. I might be wrong, and probably am, but for me, he was the first Brazilian from Shakhtar coming to England and doing the business. I mean, you look who's gone in their footsteps now. That Bernardo, Everton, Fernandinho, Willian, Ramirez. Did he come from there as well? From ex-Chelsea player Ramirez? I think he might have come from Ukraine.
I thought he came from Corinthians.
Oh, I might be wrong then.
I might be. No, but no, those 3 players you listed there. You know, I mean, Fernandinho definitely.
Yeah. Well, that's what I mean. He was this £8 million Brazilian from Ukraine, and then he just came up and he did the business. And it was just a mad time to be a City fan. All winning trophies. That was the best time I've ever known. Just signing all these mad players from left, right, and centre. And to be fair, most of them did the business. Didn't they? Call Luke, Petrov, your man.
Best player in the world. Still is.
But yeah, I'd have to say, same again. Cult hero or legend, it's hard to say, innit?
Yeah, that one I'm on the fence about. You know, I mean, I'd be more tempted to say legend because of where we were as a team at that time when he was playing. You know, we were on the pinnacle just before we started signing the likes of Robinho, etc. And he was that sort of player that I won't say necessarily kept us mid-table. He could have easily fitted into any other team high up, you know, a top 5 team around that fight. And, you know, we got a hell of a player for him, you know. So I'd go as far to say he was a legend. He
was one of them players that everybody, other fans would go, he's a decent player, him. Oh, I'd have him. I remember reading an Hamburg fan had written after the Hamburg game, being like, why Elano didn't play in the first leg or start that game, I'll never know. What a player. He was a fucking great player that night.
Yeah. No, but he went on to have a hell of a career, you know, in total. I mean, when he was at Santos, he won 2 league titles, 4 League Cups, and 1 Copa. Famous cup. I can never pronounce it. Copa Libertadores, whatever, you know which one I mean.
Yeah.
With Santos, he won 2 Ukrainian league titles and 1 Super Cup with Shakhtar, and also won Copa America with Brazil. So you know he has a fair amount of honours to his name. So it's not as if he didn't earn.
Shame he didn't win out with City though, isn't it?
Yeah, it would have been. It would. He's one of them. He's like Sean Wright Phillips. You know, he was that type of player that was before everything, but definitely deserved it, especially playing for City. But no, what a way to end that episode off.
Yeah, I mean, I'd like Elano, if you're listening, give us a bell. We'll get you on poddy, mate.
Without a doubt.
Manchester every now and then, doesn't he? Came not long ago.
Well, we'll have to get City Dave across when the boys will cross. I know he'll be jumping at the chance of stopping anybody outside City Stadium, won't they?
Yeah. So
cheers for joining me on this episode, Dan. And,
no worries, mate.
Hope all you Blues enjoy watching as we enjoy making them. And remember to like and subscribe across all channels in which we do these podcasts. And join us for the next one, which is, I think, hopefully Tuesday, which the next 3 players haven't been decided yet, but it could be anybody. But yeah, hope you enjoy it. And cheers again, Dan, for joining me.
Yep, just a quick in. We've got Terry Fielden on this week. And join Chris for an unpopular opinion, because he is the most argumentative Man City fan I've ever heard. I'll give Chris his due, right? He's just typical City fan. He hates everything.
Well,
so
yeah, but that's us.
Yeah, he hates everything.
No,
So,
but I tell you what, you two could make your own series. Just you two alone. The ratings would be sky high for that one.
Yeah.
But that's it. Cheers again, mate. And
see you later, man. Dan.
Yeah, take care, mate.
See ya.
All the best, mate.